I stared at my coffee, letting my father's words wash over me like they had every Sunday brunch for the past 3 years. Doodling won't pay bills, he said, cutting into his eggs Benedict. Emily, you need to think about a real career. Your sister's making partner at her law firm and here you are still working at that coffee shop. The coffee shop where I just sold another piece for $50,000 through a private buyer. Not that they knew about that. Or about any of the sales I'd made under my artist pseudonym E.R. Stone. The gallery's doing well, I said quietly. My work is selling. My sister Amanda snorted into her mimosa. Those little paintings you hang in that hole-in-the-wall place? Please. That's not a real gallery. If they only knew that hole-in-the-wall was just where I started. That my real work, my large-scale abstract pieces, now hung in some of the most prestigious galleries in New York and London. Speaking of real jobs, Mom chimed in. Sarah Matthews' daughter is hiring at her consulting firm. I could put in a word. I'm fine, Mom. I checked my phone discreetly, another message from Marcus, my agent. Sotheby's confirmed. Opening night set for Friday. Fine. Dad's voice rose. You live in that tiny studio apartment working minimum wage. That's not fine, that's failing. The tiny studio apartment was actually my workshop. My real loft, bought with the proceeds from my first major sale, was in Tribeca. But they'd never visited either place. Never asked to see my work. Never really looked at what I was building. Amanda, Mom turned to my sister proudly, tell Emily about your new corner office. While Amanda launched into a detailed description of her law firm perks, I thought about the show opening on Friday. My first major solo exhibition at Sotheby's, featuring my latest collection. The collection that had already generated $12 million in pre-sales. Emily's not even listening, Amanda huffed. Probably daydreaming about paint colors again. Actually, I was thinking about the Wall Street Journal article scheduled to run tomorrow, revealing E.R. Stone's true identity. The mysterious artist whose works had been setting auction records for the past 2 years. Honey, Mom touched my hand, we're just worried about you. Art is a lovely hobby, but you need a real career. I pulled my hand away gently, remembering all the nights I'd spent perfecting my technique, building my portfolio, creating something extraordinary while they thought I was wasting time. The coffee shop is hiring a new manager, I said instead of what I really wanted to tell them. More responsibility, better pay. Dad shook his head. From pre-law to serving coffee. Where did we go wrong? My phone buzzed again. The gallery wanting to confirm tomorrow's press conference. Where E.R. Stone would finally step into the spotlight. Actually, I started, there's something I need to tell you all. Oh. Amanda interrupted. Before I forget, I'm having an office party Friday night. Very exclusive. I could get you in as a server if you want to network with some real professionals. Friday night. When my show would be opening. When the art world would be gathering to finally meet E.R. Stone. I can't, I said. I have an event. More important than your sister's career? Mom asked, disappointed. You have no idea, I thought. Yes, I said simply. More important. They exchanged familiar looks of disapproval across their brunch plates. The failed daughter turning down opportunities, stuck in her artistic dreams. If they only knew those dreams had already come true. But they would know. Tomorrow everyone would know. Sometimes the best art isn't hung on walls. It's the look on people's faces when they realize how wrong they've been. The gallery hummed with anticipation. Journalists filled the front rows, cameras ready, while art critics and collectors whispered among themselves. Everyone waiting to finally meet the elusive E.R. Stone. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing since the Wall Street Journal article dropped that morning. I'd turned it off after the 20th call from Amanda. 5 minutes, Marcus whispered, adjusting my blazer. Are you ready? I nodded, watching through the curtain as more people filed in. The room was packed, standing room only. A far cry from the hole-in-the-wall gallery my family had mocked. Emily. I turned to see my father pushing through the crowd, Mom and Amanda right behind him, all still in their work clothes. They must have come straight from their offices. What is this? Dad demanded, waving his phone with the Wall Street Journal article displayed. Some kind of joke? Mysterious artist E.R. Stone revealed, Amanda read aloud, her voice shaking. Contemporary art's rising star set to break auction records. Mom just stared at me, then at the massive canvas behind us. My signature piece for the show already sold for $12 million. That's... She whispered, "That's your work." Before I could answer, Marcus stepped forward. "Miss Stone, we're ready for you." "Miss Stone." Amanda's voice rose an octave. "Emily, what's going on?" I straightened my shoulders, feeling the weight of the moment. "You should take your seats. The press conference is about to begin." "Press conference?" Dad sputtered. "Emily, stop this nonsense right now. Ladies and gentlemen," Marcus's voice carried through the gallery, "please welcome the artist known as E.R. Stone, Ms. Emily Rose Stanford." The room erupted in applause as I stepped through the curtain. Cameras flashed. Art critics leaned forward in their seats. And my family stood frozen, watching their failed daughter take center stage. "Miss Stone," a reporter called out, "your last piece sold for $8 million. Did you expect this level of success?" I caught my sister's eye as she sank into a nearby chair. "Success isn't always what people expect it to look like." "Your new collection has already broken pre-sale records," another journalist said. "How does it feel to be one of the highest-paid living artists?" I thought about all the Sunday brunches, all the disappointed looks, all the suggestions for real jobs. "It feels like validation," I said honestly. "Not everyone believes in the power of art to change lives." "The rumors about the MoMA acquisition?" someone called out. "True," I confirmed. 3 pieces will be installed next month. I heard Mom's small gasp. The Metropolitan Museum of Art had been her favorite place when we were children. Now her daughter's work would hang there. "Your technique is revolutionary," an art critic commented. "Where did you develop it?" "In a tiny studio apartment," I smiled, watching Dad's face redden. "Working late nights after my coffee shop shifts." The questions continued, but I was watching my family's expressions shift from disbelief to realization. Amanda clutched her designer purse like a lifeline. Mom had tears streaming down her face. "One final question," a reporter called out. "Why reveal your identity now?" I looked directly at my father as I answered. "Because sometimes art isn't just about creating beauty. Sometimes it's about showing people what they refuse to see." Marcus stepped forward to end the press conference, but Dad suddenly moved toward the podium. "Emily," his voice cracked, "that painting, the one that sold for $12 million. I finished for him. Would you like to see it up close? I could give you a private tour. Show you what doodling really looks like." The gallery began to clear, journalists rushing to file their stories about the art world's biggest revelation. But my family stood rooted in place, staring at the massive canvases surrounding them, each one worth more than Amanda's law firm's salary. "All this time," Mom whispered, "while we thought you were failing, I was succeeding," I said quietly. "You just never bothered to look." The gallery was quiet now, just my family and me among the towering canvases. Marcus had cleared out the press, giving us privacy for what would either be a reconciliation or a final fracture. "This one," I said, leading them to the centerpiece, "is called Sunday Brunch." The massive abstract captured years of suppressed emotion in violent sweeps of color, blues and blacks crashing against golden light. It was the piece that had sold for $12 million. "It's angry," Amanda said softly, staring up at it. "It's honest," I corrected. "Every Sunday sitting at that table swallowing your judgments with my coffee." Mom touched the exhibition placard, reading the price with trembling fingers. $12 million. For one painting. "The coffee shop," Dad said suddenly. "You're still working there." "Why?" I smiled, remembering all the conversations I'd overheard there, all the inspiration I'd drawn from everyday moments. "Because that's where I see real life. That's where I find my stories." "But you're rich," Amanda blurted out. "The Wall Street Journal said your work has sold for over $50 million this year alone." "Money was never the point," I said, moving to another painting. "This one's called Corner Office. I painted it the day you made partner, Amanda." She stepped closer, seeing herself in the harsh lines and hollow spaces. "Is that how you see me?" "It's how you became," I said gently. "All ambition, no soul." Dad cleared his throat, his businesslike demeanor crumbling as he looked around the gallery. "The Metropolitan Museum of Art," he said hoarsely. "Your work will be in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Along with the Louvre, Marcus added, appearing with champagne. The Paris acquisition was confirmed this morning. Mom sank onto a gallery bench, her perfect composure finally breaking. Oh, Emily. We were so wrong about you. Yes, I agreed simply. You were. Amanda touched the edge of corner office carefully. All those times I talked down to you, tried to get you serving jobs at my parties. You'll be interested to know, Marcus interjected with a slight smile, that your law firm's senior partner bought 2 of Emily's pieces last month. They're hanging in your building's lobby. Her face went pale. The new installations? The ones we all admire every morning. Life has a sense of humor, I said, handing her a glass of champagne. Dad hadn't moved, still staring at Sunday brunch. Your grandfather, he said suddenly. He used to paint. I know, I replied softly. He gave me my first set of oils. Said some people see the world in numbers, others in colors. Both can tell the truth if you're brave enough to look. We never looked, Mom whispered. We never really saw. I led them through the gallery, explaining each piece, watching understanding dawn in their eyes. The doodles they'd dismissed had become masterpieces. The daughter they'd underestimated had become an artist who'd changed the art world. The opening's on Friday, I said finally, stopping at my latest work, still uncovered, not yet seen by anyone. Will you come? Instead of my office party, Amanda said quickly. I'll be here. We'll all be here, Dad added, his voice rough with emotion. If you'll have us. I pulled the cover off the new piece. It showed a family at a brunch table, but with empty spaces where their faces should be, and a figure in the corner holding a brush, filling in their blank expressions with color and life. It's called recognition, I said quietly. Because sometimes we need to be empty before we can be filled with understanding. Mom wiped her eyes, smearing her perfect makeup. It's beautiful. It's truth, I corrected gently. And it's not for sale. This one's for us. As they stood there, surrounded by my success, I saw something change in their expressions. The daughter they'd dismissed had become someone they finally recognized, not as a failure, but as an artist who'd painted her own destiny. Sometimes the greatest masterpiece isn't on canvas. It's in the moment when those who doubted you finally see your truth in full color.